so much for joining us today. We have Melinda Kirk, and she's going to tell us about all the step-by-step process that you need to know in order to have the perfect puppy party.
Wonderful. Have you thought about ever having a puppy party? Well, I'm the person to call. I have created amazing, elaborate, over-the-top pet parties, and now I'd like to share a few tips with you. First, you want to think about, what are you celebrating? Because if it's a fundraiser, it wouldn't be the same planning process if you were having a private party. Second, you want to think about who is invited and who is your target audience. And obviously, if you're having the fundraiser, that audience is going to be slightly different than your private party at home, or if you're hosting a big bash.
Absolutely.
So think about what month you want to have your party, what day of the week, and what time of day. Because you can be really flexible in the beginning of the planning process for the dates. Next, we're thinking about, where are we having our party?
This is an important question.
It is. And before you think about where specifically, think really big picture, like, am I having a party inside or outside? Because then you can determine where the venue will be. Next comes my very favorite part of the entire planning process, and that is theme and menu. So, what is your theme? Because whatever you can dream can really be your theme.
How do you determine what theme dogs even like? Is this for the dog or is this really for you, you know?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but think about, imagine a Harry Potter pet fundraiser where all the dogs are dressed in little black capes and ties and wands and running around. I hosted that party. So let's talk about our food. What is your menu? I always like to have one menu, and I cater to the dogs, and then I adjust for the humans. So I always focus on the dogs and what is appropriate for them to eat, and then I back into the human menu. So it can be a lot of fun, but you always want to have a lot of watering stations too, because everyone has to stay hydrated. This is an example of one of my menus from the Harry Potter Pet Fundraiser. In fact, some of the humans ate some of the dog treats because they looked so much alike. They weren't paying attention, but it was okay because everything's human grade, so don't worry.
So my next question for you, Melinda, is when it comes to the party and it comes to the puppies and they're humans, what do you do that's actually engaging? How do they have fun, and how do you make it an experience out of it?
That's wonderful. You should ask, because we love to have activities and entertainment at every party. And activities can include paw print making or cake making, where you decorate it for the human and for the animals. And I want to remind everyone that we don't do parties for just dogs or cats. We do pet parties for any kind of pet you have at home. And some of the entertainment you can have at your parties, it doesn't have to be just music, but I always love to have music in the background, but contests and games. Sometimes they're costume contests, sometimes they're who looks identical to their pet contest. And especially right now for Halloween, we have a fun game called Sniff It to Win It. And it's 3 pumpkins lined up, and we hide a treat in one of them. And if they pick out the pumpkin with the treat, then they get a treat to take home.
That is so much fun.
But guess what? Everybody wins on that game.
I would hope so.
Yes, very important tip, and it's logistics. So think about the flow of your party. Are you starting in one room and ending in another? I always like to have cocktails and introductions in one area, and then the actual party in another. And then as they leave the party, I always have a parting gift, and that's in another section as well. So the flow of the party is very important. And another thing to always remember is, where are your potty break stations? Because this can get very ugly very quickly, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And finally, we have our post-party follow-ups. Now, I don't know about you, but at the end of a party, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but you always have to have your thank you cards. Well, why not buy them before the party even starts?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And Melinda, you're ever so appreciated. So
Thank you. It was wonderful being here, Lexi.